Ye are they which justify yourselves before men, but God knoweth your hearts. For that which is highly esteemed among men is abomination in the sight of God. God hates what men love, such as the famous and the rich Pewdiepie is number 1 on YouTube, which is because he serves the powers that be by helping to distract the masses from what matters, focusing on trivial things. He is superficial, he is shallow, and he is handsome, and this is why he's famous. One of the criteria for being number 1 on YouTube is you cannot talk about the truth. You cannot expose the wicked of the world. Now, if he exposes someone who is wicked, that's only like a small scale, very, very minuscule level wicked, not the global elite, truly wicked people out there. The ones who control the website that he depends on. Those people. He will not bite the hand of his masters. Now look at his Masonic logo. For one point that's Masonic, it's the as below, so above message, whereas some say as above, so below. But it's really as below, so above, because the gist of this is Satan rules the earth and he wants to rule heaven also. Lucifer, light bearer, so called. And here you see that the box inside is tilted. Some of them anyway. They're tilted. Why? Because it's a reference to this message of Satan wanting to conquer heaven. Something so simple as this represents something so much more. Then there's the point number 2, which is the satanic cube implied by the square. A cube from a certain angle looks like a square. So that matches a cube. And a cube, just like in Mecca, see my series exposing Islam as an invention of the Jews. Here's how the cube is satanic. The cube is from a certain angle seen in the planet Saturn. Saturn was the chief of the Roman pantheon among others, and therefore a match to the king of fallen angels, because the idols are devils misinterpreted as gods, for they wish to be treated as gods by mankind, especially Satan. Now look at the sickle here. You'll see that later. Maybe. Now, there's this old movie where the right eye of the moon gets taken out, and that is used for the profile picture of this popular YouTuber called Moon. And I think they're a pretty recent YouTuber, and I like some of their videos, but they are Masonic, and they're declaring their allegiance with their picture. Now, the Bible says the right eye of the Antichrist will be destroyed. So when you see a one-eye motif in Hollywood and such, you can understand where that comes from. This YouTuber is serpentza, or serpentza, ZA for South Africa, because he's from there. He moved to China, and he did many videos and still does on China, the communist atheist shithole yonder. I have been watching his videos, most of them, ever since I was planning to move to China to teach English. Fortunately, that did not work out. Nowadays, China doesn't allow English teachers from abroad, but they might have a few exceptions. I would not be one of those. And this guy, I've noticed over the years, has been doing some odd posing. So here's one example of that, which I've already proven refers to the Antichrist, showing that he is a Mason. Now you would say it's just a coincidence, but it just keeps repeating and repeating and repeating and repeating and repeating and repeating and repeating. That's his wife. And repeating. I mean, there are so many possible pictures he could put for a title like Are Chinese Women Heartless? For example, he could put a gun with his fingers, implying a gun, to his heart. That would make more sense than this. or both hands over his face or something. No, it has to be the one eye symbol. And it's not just that symbol that's Masonic. There's also the 666 here. And this new sign I learned about recently, the penalty sign they call it, which he does here and here. Serpentza, serves the serpent. Then there's his sidekick, Lawai86, Mr. Clickbait. So one eye focus here, another one eye focus, and himself doing it. Now the rings of Saturn are implied here, but also the sickle is a symbol for Saturn, the Roman god, because he used the sickle. These and let's go back and check that out in case you forgot. And yeah, I think you probably did. Where is that? There it is. The sickle of Saturn. Remember. So that's for Saturn. Communists are controlled by, led by, founded by devil worshipping Masons, Saturn worshippers, Satan worshippers. So these anti-commies like Lawai86 and Serpentza are in the same satanic brotherhood as the leaders of communist China and North Korea, who pretend to be atheists but are actually devil worshippers, because atheists are just pawns of devil worshippers. Atheists know nothing. And the people who rule the world laugh at them because atheists are just tools. So both sides are controlled by the same elites. Oy vey!